obviously name, image, likeness has been around college for a couple of years. I'm curious if you guys have friends who played other sports like baseball, tennis, soccer, where the professional compensation is not very high. Major League Baseball particularly, the minor leagues, the pay is brutal. I'm curious if name, image, likeness, if you speak to athletes in other sports, has kept them in school, where they may have left school without NIL. I'm just curious, because NIL gets a lot of conversation, but I'm curious about that. If you do have friends in other sports, or NIL has kept them in school.
I would say I have a couple friends more back home in other sports from Hawaii that I've talked to. NIL isn't the first topic of discussion, but I think naturally everything's kind of helped every single person out in their own way. But I couldn't tell you directly from each different sports. But we do talk about our personal experiences and either laugh about it or talk through it. So,
what does it mean to you to represent Eugene and UO on this big stage?
I understand I represent much more than myself. I see it as a huge responsibility and something I'm extremely aware of, but also thoughtful of, and I'm appreciative. You know, the experience that I've had has been a fun one. Hasn't been a long one. You know, the people and the experience you have, at least for me thus far, has been amazing, and you know, connections and relationships that will last a lifetime. So I'm blessed. I love Eugene, and I love everything the University of Oregon stands for.
You told me about the suits, and then also since you've been out here, what's the best food you've had out here?
Yeah, the suit. Shout out J-Mac, got me right. You know, with all the little details. And then of course the lei, just being from Hawaii and being able to show that as well, what I represent. And then best food, gosh, I ate a bagel this morning. I don't know where from. Everything bagel, bacon, egg, and cheese, but I think it's chopped cheese, I guess, here in New York.
Also, I just want to be different. You know, I always come different. So this style that I found and decided to go with this style. I wanted to be in the blue because blue is my favorite color. So best food, I'll probably say a beef patty. You know, I love beef patty, so whenever I get a chance to eat beef patty, you know, very special.
Suit by Pharaoh. Try to do a different color, you know, something that'll make my skin pop. Real nice and smooth. Everybody up here look fly. I think we all look great. I'll say the best thing I had was probably the restaurant. I think it was the first day we got here. I don't remember, but I think it was called Tony Di Napoli. So it reminded me of my days back in Italy eating Italian food.
Suit, just a plain black suit from Boss. You know, I'm a simple guy, I don't need all that. And food, I went to Quality Beach last night. That's pretty good steakhouse, so it was all right.
Errol Marks from the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. This is a question for Travis. Travis, what is it like being up for a Heisman Trophy, the last Heisman Trophy winner to win as a cornerback, Charles Woodson? What is it like being compared or even being thought of as a Heisman Trophy winner of Charles Woodson?
Very special. Yes. Both ways, you know, it has certain stats in different categories. It's definitely special, but I'm not the only corner. I want to be the only receiver that went over 1,000 yards, and also a defensive back that caught 4 interceptions plus in multiple games, had those stats to show up. But it's definitely special. You know, it means a lot to me and my family.
Ashton, you didn't receive many Power 5 school offers coming out of high school. Why do you believe you were so overlooked, and how has playing at Boise State helped you unlock your full potential?
Yeah, I feel mainly it's because I moved overseas to Naples and I moved back to the U.S. and I wasn't playing running back. So sophomore year, I played defense, D-line, safety, linebacker. Junior year, we had a great running back. So I played slot receiver, and then finally senior year, I had one of the best seasons in Texas football history. But I graduated early, so that back end of the year, getting recruited, you know, I didn't get all those schools coming after me, but it doesn't really matter. I was meant to go to Boise State.
Curious for all of you, if you look at where you started and now where you are, and tonight there'll be millions of young athletes watching you. If you could boil it down to a sentence and give each one of those a little bit of advice around what matters most to get to the seat that you're in now for the 14-year-old that might be watching you and trying to dream of one day being.
I would say the edge or the difference. You know, I think you look at all of our stories, it's very unique. One thing I've seen that has been a common theme is everyone's had an edge, you know, to their game and how they play, and that's just watching from afar. But when you get around them, and then you figure out that's the difference between us versus, you know, whoever it may be. So it's been a pleasure being around these guys as well.
I'll say don't let anyone tell you what you can't do. Keep grinding, stay focused, and go get it.
Trust the process. You know, there's gonna be days where you get discouraged, where you don't feel like all the goals you want to accomplish, you can, but I'm sure that's happened to each and every one of us sitting up here today. But for every one of us, it took us a process to get to where we're at now.
I just think you have to be an extremely competitive person. You have to be a confident person, and you just got to believe in God and everything, take care of yourself.
Looking like both of our local NFL teams here are going to have some high draft picks come next draft season. Now that you guys have been in New York a couple days, did you guys see yourself? Well, what do you think about playing here for the New York Jets or Giants?
If Joe want to come get me, he knows best. The tape says it all. Either you're going to get a competitor out of me, the city of New York. I won't be in the city probably ever. I'll stay in New Jersey for all day, every day. It's too much out here. I'll just be vibing and just trying to make some football plays for the Giants.
I think it would be cool. I got a bunch of family out here. Shout out to my Haitians, all my Zoes. You would get a great player, amazing running back, and a leader on the team. And I feel before I even step foot on the field, I'll make the team better by my presence in the locker room.
No, I would just say the tape. The tape doesn't lie. I think that's true for everyone. But more importantly, the person. I think once you get to a certain level, the talent may become equivalent. Like I always say, the edge, the difference, what is it? It's the people, it's the discipline, who that person is on a day-to-day basis. So the tape.